back to the fourth official episode of the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. I am the real Red Nose.
And I am Tierra, but you guys can call me T.
And today, we have a very special guest in the building. You know what I'm saying? The hottest clothing line in the DMV right now, my man Yagadah.
Yagadah.
And this is Reasons. Reasons. Reasons2Society. Reasons. Reasons.
Reasons.
The brand, what I represent, is called Yagadah, but my nickname is Yagadah. And I couldn't brand Yagadah, you know. I didn't feel like people would gravitate to that, you know. So to make it universal, I just switched it to Yagadah. So it's like tomato, it's like tomato.
Yeah.
I'm Yagadah, but the brand is Yagadah. So it's hard to say. It's definitely hard to like.
Because I mean, it started off because Flogo used to always be at Yaga.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So then when I heard of the clothing line and I put two and two together, I guess I just started saying it myself.
We the kids, everybody, it's still Yagadah to us, but you know.
But you gotta. And then it's like you always be like, you gotta do what you gotta do. So it's like that definitely makes sense, you know.
Catchy slogan.
Yeah, that's why we love it so much. So what's the actual symbol?
Peace sign and a heart. So, you know, like on your shirt, you can see it's a peace sign with an upside down heart. And the outline is actually the letter Y as well, because y'all said it last week, you know, it's important to remember your why, and why for Yagadah, of course. You know, so.
And of course, we sponsor the brand. You see that we got it on, got the hat, got the shirt, T got the shirt. So, I mean, we love it so much because it's a comfortable brand. It's black owned, you know what I'm saying?
And it's affordable.
Yeah, very affordable, close friend is owned by a close friend, and it's sitting right here on the podcast, you know. So
support.
Support. So y'all know each other for a while now, like
Buck Lodge. You know what's
like
funny? Talking about Buck Lodge, this is probably the first person in middle school that had facial hair.
Yeah, kill man. But it's crazy now because. Like, people don't think I'm as old as I am now. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I was a grown man back in the day, like, for real.
What was this, middle school?
Man,
yeah. He was like the first person with facial hair. I guess light-skinned people, if you're hairy, you have facial hair at a young age. But, yeah, you definitely have facial hair.
But now it's like, man, you are you serious? You know, they can't believe it. So, it was a bad thing back then, but everybody wanted a beard, too, now, and they can't get it. So, yeah, but it's been about 20 years, T.
20?
Yeah. That means
that's
we're getting
wild.
old.
Yeah. Then y'all both from Prince George's. And now
shout out to PG.
Now we all live here in Baltimore. Like,
how ironic is that? We all live in Baltimore now.
I remember
even
the first
Steve, like even Flo, like that's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Flo to connect to the whole thing.
Yeah, right. That's the funny part. Yeah,
because the first time I met you was when I came out there with Flo go.
Oh, yeah.
He like, I'm about to go out PG. You feel what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, cool. Hop in the ride, go out there.
Was it as a Baltimore nigga? Was it like in your head, like what's your perception?
I was never one of them, bro.
Okay.
I've been all around the world. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So my perception is I'm gonna take it for what it's worth when I get there. It's not like you gonna tell me
preconceived notions.
But like real bad spots what people always talking about. That's the only time I'm really on my like. But you can see that as soon as you get around that area, you know.
Right.
But yeah, I had no preconceptions about anything going out there. Yeah, then I met you. I mean, we was on the basketball court. Met Dave. I mean, I know that was one of your closest friends.
Long live Loon.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, met Ant, free Ant.
Yeah.
That was on the basketball court that night. Me, you, Flogo, a couple of other guys, you know.
Troy.
Yeah, Troy. Yeah, Juice.
Shout out to Troy. Juice.
Yeah, Rick Dog, most definitely. You know what I'm saying? And of course, I met my wife out there. Shout out to Prince George County, man. They definitely, holding it down for us. About to be good weather out there, man. So, let's start with the tennis, man.
Of course. We be playing tennis and Reds be doing this thing, man.
Too.
They put me last. Like I'm ranked bottom, but it's good to just get out there and, you know, come together with each other, you know, friends and just compete. Like it's
and
cardio.
I guess exercise too,
it's cardio. It's big cardio, and you talk trash like now. I'm gonna give it to them. Like right now, they got it, but it's getting hot, like you said.
Yo,
So,
it's getting hot, bro.
you know, we gotta edit some footage of us playing tennis and
Right.
get that serve.
Yeah, that's a fact though. That's definitely a fact. Yeah, I never thought that tennis would be that fun.
Yeah,
I
like
know.
when
all of us, it was like, I mean, just the preconceived thought, like we about to go play tennis. You know what I'm saying?
Like
But you get out there and it's really like the cardio. I think that's what I like the most.
Yeah.
And it's not too much running, you know, it's just enough,
Right.
and it's fun as hell.
Exactly.
It really is fun. I would have never thought tennis was
It's
that
bonding
fun.
time too, you know. At the same time, we all living lives. We all busy, you know, trying to achieve what we're trying to do.
Right.
So to come together for 30, 45 to an hour, you know, that's big to me. That's the type things that I really cherish. You know what I mean? Happy belated birthday,
Thank
man.
you, man.
Yeah, how was your birthday?
Jemima season. It was great. It was I never really make my birthday like big, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like for other people's birthday, like you see when other people are disappointed, they might invite somebody to the party or something, they don't come. And it might be just because they can't afford it, you know, or people go through stuff all the time. So for my birthday, I never want that burden of anything, you know what I'm saying?
Little kickback.
Yeah. Just call me, you know, text me, say happy birthday, that's it. But this year, I wanted to celebrate a lot, you know. I mean, a little bit. Like, I've been through a lot. Dave, you know, didn't make it to his next birthday. So we got to value. I mean, I value every day, but even the birthdays, like, we got to thank God for another year. So it was cool. I went Shenandoah, River Tubing. Man, y'all got to check that out. Like,
I seen it on your IG. Check this man IG out,
Yeah,
man. His IG
yeah.
be lit. Never a
Yeah.
dog
Oh my
moment, man.
goodness!
Tell him your IG,
it was
man.
Yagadah, so it's YAGADAH, and that's, you know, my Instagram. That's my website. You can type that in .com. I'm on Facebook a little bit. Follow me still. I'm gonna get back to that because I think we gotta have more than one platform, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's just me, so I'm building. So Yagadah again, YAGADAH. But the Shenandoah River tubing thing, it was peaceful. You know,
That's nice.
3.5 hour ride on a tube. You get your own cooler, have
Nice.
whatever you want in the cooler, and just, I mean, it's mountains, it's trees, it's water, it's peace.
That's nice.
You know, it was definitely soul quenching. So I recommend that. You know, go look that
Sounds
up.
like a nice place for
Sound like
meditation
it.
too.
Yeah.
And it was like $50. That's it. Like
that's
it was.
nice.
The only
You
thing
can't
was
really
it
put a
was.
price tag on all that.
Man,
Everything that you're
what?
explaining to me, it
Yeah,
sound priceless.
and that
you
was
know what I
that's
mean?
to me that's like affordable for what it
Yeah,
is.
right,
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Like that's not even that bad.
Right.
What about Father's Day? Did your kids do anything special? for
Father's
you
Day
for
was real chill. Father's Day was chill, and Juneteenth. Don't skip over that, man. We definitely
Oh
gotta
yeah,
talk
my
about that.
man, my man.
we-
That's what's up.
right.
I'm slipping in my pen.
We threw something on the grill on
Okay.
Juneteenth Day, so
Okay.
that was like it caught me off guard because I had worked overnight. You know, I'll be working overnight, so when I woke up, like my girl had went to the store and you know said we about to cook out, and it's like okay,
Wake
like
up to a
we could throw
cookout.
something on the grill, but like. As I'm cooking on the grill, it put it in perspective that, you know, this is our Independence Day right here. You know, the same thing we would do on the 4th, we was doing, you know.
Right.
So nothing real big.
I had a person, I put a post out there. I had a person that, you know, left me a little paragraph of a message that was, you know,
what it's about?
you
Tell
know,
us.
playing devil's advocate, you know,
Okay.
as far as like what has really changed, you know what I mean? From, you know, the June
Okay, the
why
original.
everybody's even celebrating, you know what I mean? And my whole thing is, right, I appreciate your opinion, but I reached out to her and I wanted her to, you know, express more, and I told her why I put it up there is because you have to bring awareness to this whole thing, right? Everybody doesn't know about it. I learned about it on June 3rd.
Right.
Like this year?
Right. Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Me as well. Me as
June
well.
3rd.
We
bro.
talk about it's not even in the curriculum at
Right.
schools,
Right.
you know, and I don't even want to talk about how 45 claims he brought up this, you know, topic. Like we could get deep with that later
Right.
on, because he say he did. You know what I'm saying? Which is outrageous. I knew about it for a while, but like I said, even on the actual day, it's not like it ain't nationwide like it need to be, where it's like we're remembered that today is that day,
Right.
and
Right.
this is the first year we got there,
Right.
so hopefully it grows and it grows, and more people having cookouts. It was just like my family and us who had it on the grill, but maybe
because you have to be the change that you want to see. You got to be the change you want to see. So that starts with that. Your family setting their tradition, like everyone else should as well. This black and brown.
But why do y'all feel like why y'all feel like it hasn't got that much publicity? And then to answer, you know, that fans comment about what do you think's changed? Like, what do you think's changed, and why, again, ain't it like...
I think T can answer that.
So the first question is, why do I think it...
ain't like
big. A big thing?
Yeah.
I think because the media doesn't want us to know that it was a big thing. Like, everything that's supposed to be true to us has been ripped from us over 400 years ago, and we never got it back since.
Everything.
And, like, even this one thing that we should know about, like, our freedom, that's the one thing, like, Black History Month, I never learned about that Black History Month. Nobody ever said Juneteenth. Like, that's the one thing we should have got from Black History Month that we didn't even get. So I just feel like they did a good job at keeping that from us. That's what they wanted.
And stay on topic, but keep in mind, like, bookmark that that's important for us to change the curriculum and how they got it structured so bad that we don't even know about stuff like that. You know?
Exactly.
And then what's changed? What's changed? Like,
a lot has changed.
I feel like so. I feel like so.
So for me to answer that part of the question, I do think a lot has changed. Like, it's not exactly where everybody wants it to be, but we're not going to take credit away from MLK and Martin Luther King, because that's basically what you're doing if you're saying things haven't changed. You wouldn't even be on Facebook writing that post if things didn't change. So, like, yes, there's levels to this, and we're getting there. We're going to keep going as long as we don't give up.
Yeah, and I feel like, I know for a fact, I don't know if we talked about it personally, but I know, like George Floyd has changed a lot. You know what I'm saying? He ain't he wasn't like an MLK or Malcolm X, but his death alone has
effect.
Even like all.
You can't even
let me just hop on that real quick. So, do you think it was George Floyd's death, or do you think that it was just the momentum at the time of everything that just has been happening? You know how, like, the domino effect of something, like, it just happened during his death. You know what I'm saying? Like, his death is like the cherry on top, not to take anything away from it, but you know what I mean? Like, it was just the breaking point. Like, we had to build up. Since before George Floyd, like we still have the build up from Trayvon Martin.
Yeah, but see, I feel like it's always like that. So I feel like it was the modern day lynching. You know, like, it was bad enough to see that one cop did it with 2-3 people in the video saying stop, but to realize it was 3 other people, you know, that's like, we can't continue to just keep doing nothing when all those people got off and ain't nothing happened. So I do feel like his death, unfortunately, has changed, I mean, a lot. So it didn't go in vain, you know what I'm saying?
Most definitely.
That's true, it definitely didn't go in vain.
Yeah, a lot of police reforms and everything like
I mean, Nike is an official holiday for just like Juneteenth, like our lives are starting to matter.
Exactly.
Black Lives Matter on
people
the White House y'all talked about last week.
Their whole perception now.
So do we focus on how long this lasts? Or should we just accept this as, okay, they care now? Like, should we monitor how long people are going to ride for us?
Of course.
Because I don't want to hop on something too quickly and be like, oh, yeah, that's great. I mean, it's nice.
Yeah, it's great.
I appreciate it, but like, it has to be more. Like, that's just the beginning, so I'm not about to clap for that yet. Right. Like, I want to see more before I start clapping.
Right.
I, as somebody who protested, I do think we need the help of not just the Caucasians, but, you know, everybody, like all the races, period. But definitely, you know, the white people, because they've been in positions where they kind of know where we going. You know what I'm saying? So they need to help us even just get more organized. Because if we were more organized, you know, we would be a problem. You know what I'm saying? And it's reasons that we're not as organized. You know,
it's a democracy, so the people is supposed to be what the people want. You know what I mean?
But I mean, I hope it rises. We do got to take the victory for what it is. But what I don't want is for somebody to always have to die for change like this to come.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And you see the media only really covers what they want to cover. There's other things that I don't even really
and that's why, honestly, I'm happy that you guys got a platform like this where we can come and just keep the conversation going because that's the problem. You know, just it's a conversation for 2-3 days and then that's it.
Right. That's what I said to the young lady. You know what I mean? Like, I like your opinion. You know, you saying what has changed. I want you to come explain that to me. I'll explain to you how I feel. You explain to me how you feel. That's the only way to move forward, you know? We can both have a conversation. You know, but you can't say nothing has changed. That's dramatic.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
We're
that's
voting,
disrespectful,
we're
actually,
in school
because
together.
People did stuff to get us this far.
Yeah, most definitely. Let's go ahead and get into a little bit of news, man. So I don't know if y'all heard, but Quaker, you know, the brand is changing the logo and the name of Aunt Jemima. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like they saying it's a stereotype. You know, how do y'all feel about that?
I'm with it. I mean, again, it racism existed. You know what I'm saying? So we can't act like racism did not exist. Mm-hmm. You know, so Quaker
and Aunt Jemima. I was thinking about that too. You know, I was like,
racist.
You know, I don't know. I
didn't think about it, but now you think about it,
it's like the things that we grew up on, like it was just normal. That's what I mean.
Right.
That's what I'm saying about this new generation. What they're born into now is going to be the new normal.
Black people are not racist. Are black people racist to y'all?
I think so. I think there are some racist black people.
I think there are some racist black people, but I think it's more probably prejudiced older black people than there is racist white people.
Nah, see,
and it's because of the upbringing, I guess.
I think people are pro-black, but I don't think that necessarily makes them racist, because it's not like we hate, or the pro-black people hate white people. They just, everything's black. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
But there's no way that you can convince me that there's not one black.
I don't know. That's what I'm asking. That's what
it's definitely a black racist person. Mr. Swan from High Point High School. Shout out to Mr. Swan. You told me a lot. You're the reason why I'm so woke now.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I guess it's not a bad thing either. Like, you know.
What about Uncle Ben's? The race, y'all know about Uncle Ben's, you know what I'm saying? Now, Mars, they about to change the name.
So Uncle Ben is changing his name?
And forgive me for being...
Like, I guess people, like companies, these companies are old companies.
Right, but see, that's what I'm saying. Racism exists. Their ancestors, their grandparents might have been racist before the younger generation to kind of realize that now when we do something about it, is a victory we have to celebrate. And it shows racism, but that's the change right there. You know what I'm saying?
Because we just brought up on it, like Uncle Ben's, you feel what I'm saying? Like, it was just normal. Like, I really thought that was my uncle at some point.
Yeah, even the Aunt Jemima. Like, to hear that whole story about all, like, the whole, I don't know if y'all heard the whole Aunt Jemima story, but it was wild. Like, it was like, I don't even want to say and not get my facts straight. So y'all could look that up and even talk about that next week.
That's something to look up for the the viewers out there.
Mama,
because I always like to look up things anyway.
Right,
so
right. And what I can say though, Jack Daniels, Flo actually told me about the Jack Daniels. The liquor, or just the brand Jack Daniels was like a African American invented it, know, but he just didn't have the capital to kind of take it to the next level.
Right.
And it was the first time, like, in history, he said, I can't vouch for like in history, but it was just the first time you kind of seen like a white Caucasian put an African American on, like he was on stage, he was front and center, and even now if you like look up Jack Daniels, it shows the black man that ain't just the white man who put it on, but the Jack Daniels is the African American's patent. But it's definitely owned by the white guy. But it ain't like he just took it and ran with it like Aunt Jemima. Aunt Jemima, it was some racist stuff with that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, in other news in Baltimore, federal authorities accuse a Baltimore financier, Charles Nabbit, the owner of Westport Group, of spending over $90,000 on sex acts through an alleged sex trafficker.
But I watch a lot of TV, just like documentaries and stuff, and I can't say what I saw, but sex trafficking is high.
Yeah, it's real.
I
want people to know that's real.
That's white business right there that they don't put on front and center like drugs
major,
and all that, because those are the crimes that they're committing.
That's just next level.
You know what I'm saying? Which is way worse than my man selling drugs to provide for his family.
Right.
But so it's crazy, $90,000.
And he already posted bond. It was a property bond. We got the money. He spent $90,000.
Right. Exactly.
Why would they even allow him to post a property bond?
Right.
sick because they in cahoots.
Yeah,
with it.
exactly.
And
the system is
that's
rigged.
white people. That's their business.
Yep.
That's all
Looking
their
after
business.
each other. Yeah. So he paid through Cash App on over 52 occasions. 90,000 on over 52 occasions, right? So I did the math. I was like, what? Yo, $1,700 a visit, bro.
Wow.
$1,700 a visit. Like, that's how much these little boys and girls are worth. Like, really, like, that's why, like, we got this podcast to make people aware, you know what I mean? Like, protect these little kids, these little boys out here. Like, look after them. Like, people are out here lurking, snatching kids.
And then saying that they ran away, they're missing without a trace, they committed suicide, all types of stuff.
Then the story just disappears. Nobody even thinks about them or it's never heard about ever
I mean, honestly, you don't really, like Walmart is where I see, like, missing people's, you know, I guess we might get Amber Alerts every now and then, but it's like, even the news don't cover missing kids like
I know DC. I know the DC area was like.
I was just about to say the girls that went missing. There was a lot of girls, I believe, in DC. I don't know if this was like. It probably could have even been two or 3 years ago.
Yeah, I think years ago.
But like the girls went missing, they were unaccounted for, and I don't even know if they were found for real.
Yeah.
I don't even think they were found.
Yeah, and it wasn't even really talked about on the media as much as it really should have been.
I was going to say if they were found, I missed that. So if somebody knows that they were found, drop that below because that's crazy.
Definitely.
Like things just disappear. We never think about it again.
Wow. Yeah, between 2014 and 2018, over 440 reports of sex trafficking in Maryland alone.
Wow.
In Maryland alone. That's just reports. What about the ones that got away?
Right.
You know? Like, so we just wanted people to be aware of that. You know?
I wasn't. Thank you.
You gotta be well aware.
Yeah, I mean, even like when my kids, my kids, like, this is my kids. We talking about sex trafficking, you know?
Right.
And I mean, I let my kids like go outside, like I feel like it's comfortable. But that's something like, man, every hour, or, you know, they come in, they run in and out, which is like a bad thing. Like, but now I'm glad, you know,
because like I know that you're around. I need to see you circulating.
Aware, man. Most definitely. Speaking of your kids, though, right?
Right.
I want to know your top 3 differences in how you will raise a boy from how you will raise a girl.
Yeah, I was thinking, man. I was thinking long because for me, I think it's important to raise them the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's where sexist and stuff comes in at. And women, is proven, are as strong as men. You know what I'm saying? They really, over the last, like, the woman, you know, like, the figure has evolved from, like, home, housewoman to, like, really holding it down. You know what I'm saying? So, even with my kids, like, I don't try to play favorites. The first one I came up with, though, was, like, my son, like, fearless, you know, like, he got to be brave no matter what. That's not something, like, a character that I will instill on my daughter. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay to be scared, but you got to be brave, you know, and for my daughter, because I'm going to be your protector. Your brother's going to be your protector. Your husband will be your protector. That's not really a role that you got to take on so much. Right. You know, so
especially like you know, you'll teach them these type things as they grow up. You wouldn't teach them as young. You know what I mean? Because they do need to have self-defense and stuff like that to make sure like they own motherfuckers.
Right. Because you never know. You know. My second was for my daughter, like, to never crave for somebody else's acceptance, period. You know what I'm saying? My son, not so much. I ain't really worried about him for that because males, you know, with the estrogen or whatever, ain't as emotional as women, you know, so it won't be as substantial as it would be for, you know, like a little girl, like, just being obsessed with somebody, knowing them, wanting them. Just,
I know what
you know what I'm saying? So that's something, like, I love you, but most importantly, love yourself. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. And I couldn't think of the third. Like, I couldn't think of, like, what, because like I said, man, for me, it's really the same. Like, you take out the trash too, Treasure. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's whatever. Taylor, you cooking. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how.
What about, like, curfew?
Okay, that's a good one. Because I will let my son stay out about 20 more minutes later than I will. Like,
what
even
about
like
sleepovers?
Curfew, I would go with. Sleepovers as far as like her going over other people's house.
Mm-hmm.
See, I want to be the parent, man, where my kids will talk to me about any and everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like a thin line between being a friend and being that parent. But I would want her to live her life and to make mistakes and not be afraid to make mistakes so we can grow and to come to me and talk about it together. I ain't saying I want her to, you know, like, I mean, negative people going to think of being a thought or something like that. You know what I'm saying? No, that's not what I'm saying. But, you know, drink too much or something like that. I don't know. I can't think of what a mistake is. But, you know, have a life and still be, you know, be able to come to me and talk to me about the mistakes that you made. So even sleepovers, I, you know, as long as, like, see, that's parent things though. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure that the parents are straight. Like, who house is my child sleeping over? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, who's there, who in and out, like who got the keys? You feel
see,
me?
that's out of the kids' control. Period. Because they kids, they want do what kids do, which is get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? So that's on a higher level. But curfew, I'm kind of lenient with, you know, but I really try to be like as fair as possible, you know, because I want my daughter to feel the same way I want my son to feel. You know what I'm saying? Black and proud, man.
My man. What about you, T? What's your top 3?
Yeah, so I'm going to say the same like him. Like, I would raise my kids the same, at least with the same values, morals, basic things in life. But I think my top thing would be the freedom, like the amount of space. So, like, number one, for my son, I would let him hang out longer with his friends than my daughter. I had a brother. My mom used to do it to me, so I'm going to do it to my daughter and my son if I have to. And, I mean, it's just, you know, when the street lights come on, you know, to get in the house, your brother could stay out a little bit longer because I'm not saying they're not getting kidnapped, but what's the chances of somebody snatching a boy? You know what I mean? Like, let's be real. Like, let's be real. Let's be real.
She's sexist. Yeah, sexist.
I'm not sexist, but I'm just saying, like, for real. Like,
that's right.
Why did my mom let me stay out longer like my brother? What? Because
right.
a little girl shouldn't be out that much longer.
Right.
Exactly.
Sure.
Like, it is what it is. Number 2 would be picking his friends. I would allow him more space with choosing his friends.
That's deep. That's a great one.
Because the reason why I say that is because, not saying that boys can't have bad friends, but my son most likely is going to want to have sex and have fun and do what teenage boys do. Hence to, I'm not the one dealing with a pregnant child later. And again, I'm going to teach my son the morals with sex and all that, but the chances of a girl allowing a guy not to put a condom on and having to come home and deal with that is like, that's my daughter now that fell in love and trusted that boy. The chances of my boy trying to convince that girl, for me, is going to be thin because I'm going to teach him, you know, it just is what it is.
Amen. Yeah.
So I guess that kind of leads us to 3, micromanaging. I'm not going to micromanage as much. I'm not going to be looking through your notes and your stuff. Like,
I'm sorry, but that's major key.
I mean, it is, but I just feel like
even
not
now
as
for
much
me, that's like
as the girl.
Man, it's like, man, I used to hate my mom for that shit. Man, my mom used to go through.
My mom used to do that
man,
too.
My drawers, my trash, all that shit, man. Like,
but now, like as a kid, like we found, like you know, me and my kid's mom have found stuff just going through the phones where it's kind of like, especially like my kids are 10 and 11 on Instagram now. So we have to check DMs. We have to go through certain stuff that.
But this is my thing. So with your boy, he's gonna fall in love with a girl, and his heart's gonna get broken, and he's gonna end up pregnant coming home. What's the worst that's gonna happen to him? But my daughter, virginity, like pregnancy, being head over heels over the first guy that takes her virginity, like there's a lot of steps with the girl. Like you have to stay on that, especially if you don't want her to fall victim of some idiot. You know what I mean? Not saying I would rather my son be the idiot, but I
don't think you can control love, you know. So that's what I want. I want them to go make their mistakes, but it'll be good to, you know, like control as much of it as you can. You know what I'm saying? Because we definitely got a control on the freedom and the micromanagement of our kids. You know, what's yours, Reg?
I basically was telling you mine right there. Curfew.
Curfew.
Curfew gonna be way different.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's a good one.
Way
I didn't
different.
think about that one.
Because it's like a boy, like I don't know, a female to me is like gonna be like more like okay with certain things, you know, like they won't protest certain things that a boy will, like, hold up, da 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 da. Like a girl be like, I guess, you know, since, you know.
My kid, again, it was just last night, you know, and it was like, I guess it was Father's Day, so they had like fireworks and it was a lot going on, but it was like 9:30. Nah. Can we please stay out later?
Right.
No. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Without a hesitation. My son, it is like but it's just like T said, you know, more can happen with the girls. You know what I'm saying? Like they're more of a target, you know, than your son is.
And naive, not to say that in a bad way, but like girls, we're just more loving and trusting.
And that's what I mean, yeah, more naive.
We're more loving and trusting. Yeah. We try to see the good in people before the bad.
Right. Curfew, that's it?
Yeah, curfew, sleepovers.
Oh, sleepovers,
yeah. That's a good one too.
Like,
I don't think
some sleepovers was it for Reds, man.
I don't really, you know, I couldn't see my daughter, like, I don't know why. If anything, they could sleep over my house, you know, like,
troop it there.
Sleep over our house, you know, like,
come to our house.
Yeah, well, we can supervise, you know what I mean? Even for my boy, I really don't want him to, but it's like, just like you mean, like, a boy, like, I'm cool with a couple scrapes on his knees.
Right,
my little girl,
son face now.
My little girl, I don't want no scrapes on the knees, or you know, my boy, he can have a permanent little thing on his arm. But my girl, that's gonna hurt me forever. You know, like looking at her like, dang, I coulda, you know, you know. So that's just the biggest difference, I guess, is the chances. You know, like after school, you know, like even the checking in. I like, Dad, you call me more than you call your brother. You know what I mean? It's like just because I want, you know, you my heart. I just want to make sure you're.
But
okay.
I think that's important too, in, you know, like being a dad. You know what I'm saying? So that they know they're not seeking for that affection from nobody else, because my dad's calling me. You know
all the strong women that I really met like that dad was really in their life and really showed them what they was worth.
I mean, I do think. I mean, speaking from not having a dad myself, I know the traumatic effect that it has on a person, yet alone, you know, a female. And I don't want to say it because they're like more emotional, but I mean, I could just only imagine with just wanting, you know, like love, you know what I'm saying? Like that's something females want, you know what I'm saying? And it's different for guys, so I can understand it, and that's good. So as long as you do that,
because your first love is really your dad.
Your dad. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna go ahead and get into the sponsors. We really not the type of people that's really looking for sponsorships, but if you're the type of people that's looking for people that's not really looking for sponsorships, then we definitely are people right here. So today's sponsorship is brought to you by Yagadah. I mean, a couple of days ago I was saying Yagadah, you know what I'm saying? But it's spelled the same exact way. So either way you type it in,
man, it was crazy. Like it was a story. So man, I've been. Well, I guess we'll talk about how we got started.
Go ahead. Right now is your time.
Yeah. But let me say my story first, though. So it was like I got started and I just made some shirts. You know what I'm saying? And I went and just tried to pass my shirts out and like, here, just take this shirt. And I packed up a book bag and I did a commercial that I'll, you know, show you or whatever. And just I went to people and basically asked them what they thought the logo was. So it was like, this was kind of like introducing the brand before I even explained it. You know, because I had the logo, I had the image, but I wanted people to tell me what they thought it was before I said it. You know what I'm saying? And in doing that, like I went to the pool and gave it to the lifeguards. So I told them the brand, and it was Yagadah, you know what I'm saying? And again, we're Yagadah, you know what I'm saying? So I went to the pool. I took the kids to the pool or something like that, and they like, hey, Yagadah. And I'm like, they saying it wrong. like it's Yagadah. What do you talk about? You know? And it dawned on me, like, you know, that's the brand, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm me, again, it's tomato, like I said earlier, black owned, somebody who's it started off as me just trying to brand myself. I really want to get into acting and skits, into motivational speaking. I want to go to the schools and tell the kids that they don't, you know, have to be drug dealers and stuff like that. Like, you can be an entrepreneur, you know what I'm saying? I want to give back to my community. So, the purpose of me branding myself was just to give myself that platform. Okay, I can go to talk to the principal, the guidance counselor, I'm, I got these clothes business. This is who I am. So therefore, I can come and speak to the kids.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that. And so that was like the idea. I used Snapchat to kind of create my logo because right when I thought about doing this, that's when everything like financially was like nope, okay. nope. So you had to.
That's only right, ain't it?
Yeah. And it's been like that, but it's timing, which we'll get into. I think everything happens for a reason, and had things not happened, my vision might have been different than it is right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I could have easily took my logo and took off with like the clothes for real. But like my clothes for me is not the business. You know what I'm saying? Clothes is just what we sell, what I sell. You know what I'm saying? But my goal is to employ the inner city youth, the homeless people, to give them opportunities.
That was big when you first told me that. I was
like that's what I want to do. So my products will always be affordable, like T said when we first started, because my job is I'm going to teach them how to go out and sell this affordable product so that you always are good. Like I don't have to rely on, I do have multiple sources of income, but like I can go outside right now and make money, and that's what I want for, everybody, you know what I'm saying? So, but I do want people to support me in that journey and getting there. So again, the clothes is it's made to empower everyone to do what they got to do. I feel like that's what I got to do, but everybody's purpose and passion is different. You gotta go to the gym, you gotta listen to Reasons2Society, you gotta go to church and get right with the Lord, you gotta apply for that promotion, you gotta do whatever you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? And in wearing my clothes, it feels like it empowers you by reminding you that you gotta. And not only it don't speak on if I can or if I wanna or anything like that. It's you gotta.
Gotta.
That's it. Right. So it's black owned. Everything that I've ever sold, I made myself. I get everything blank and just do what I gotta do to them. And I think that's why people should support me, because it's like it's no middleman. It's not like I'm going through a manufacturer or anything. So
how do you feel about the support though, man? Like,
oh man,
I see that you've been getting a lot of love.
Yeah,
bro.
It's always a blessing, man. I said something earlier, like last week, that I think is important for everybody. We got to put the pressure on God. Like I don't want to get too spiritual, but I do want preach real quick, and it's like like for me, like and we talked about this too, you know what I'm saying? Just like we thought God was a genie, like growing up, that's kind of like the perception that everybody, your family, church, that's just the perception that you pray, you rub on that genie, your wishes will come true. And that's not the fact of the reality, you know what I'm saying? Like the way God works is that you do what you got to do, you try, you show me you actively on to something, and I'm going to bless you on the way. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, Reds, I feel like everything I'm about to do is God's plan, like for me. This is His purpose for me. This ain't even for me. It's bigger than me.
I think once you start feeling like you're on autopilot is when you start getting that feeling that you're feeling right now. You know what I mean? Like you put so much into it, and you on a cycle. You keep it consistent. And one day you just wake up like, this is what's meant for me. You know what I mean? Like,
and that's how I look at it for the support now. Like I don't look for the support, like because that's not me. But I don't feel like, again, I've even started. Like I haven't hit my prime.
And that's exactly how we feel about this podcast right here. You know what I mean? That's why we like to keep people like you close to us, because it's generating a whole lot of momentum. You know what I mean? A whole lot of energy. You know what I mean? Like, when you got the same mindset as the people around you, and we're not even really doing the same thing. But it's all about the energy. You know what I mean? The people that you keep around you in that mindset, like, it's really contagious.
And I think that's what it was important. She said, like the friends for like her son. You know what I'm saying? Like, controlling your friends, because, I mean, you are a product of your environment, period. You know what I'm saying? And if the people around you ain't aspiring to do nothing, then you're not. And like, when I am demotivated, I can look towards my friends to, man, they still on it. You know what I'm saying? So we got to do it. And for me, I mean, that's what I want to be. You know, I want to be that source of inspiration to anybody around me. Like, if you ain't inspired by me, or if you don't inspire, like, period, to do anything, then, you know, like, I don't really know how much I'm gonna be around you. You know what I'm saying?
You are the energy you keep around you.
Right.
You are the energy.
Once you get that baggage off your shoulder, bro, it's like, because, I mean, I ain't even gonna get no all that.
All right, guys, well, we about to get deep. What does reparation look like to you guys in 2020? Meaning, like, the 40 acres and a mule of 2020. Like, what do y'all see that as? What would fulfill you if they said, okay, we about to give y'all reparations. This is what you're expecting from them.
I would like a restart, you know? Like, I need a whole bunch of land, like, I guess, you know, like, we would need a whole structure. This is a complicated question. This is a great question. Like, this is just a complicated answer, because it's like, let us start fresh with what we know and what we want to do. Like, not guided by what any other culture or any outside race want to do. Like Black Wall Street, for example. You know what I mean? It took brilliant, strong individuals to create something as massive as, you know, Black Wall Street. So, like, give us that opportunity is basically what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, give us the type of land to build our own schools, our own churches, our own everything. Like, you know, and we can still spend our money on their resources until we build up enough where we only have to spend within our own community. You know? But if they do have great products that is better than the ones in our community, of course you would still go outside of the community, and that encourages the ones inside of the community to continue to do better. You know what I mean? But the ultimate goal would be to keep the money circulating within, and then you would have people coming outside now spending money within your unit instead of vice versa. You know what I mean? So give us that opportunity.
So basically, like, just to start over, money to upfront money to put, or land.
You know, it's more like opportunity. If money, you know, I don't want to say money, but money is opportunity.
Man, my answer is your answer.
You know,
exclamation point.
But money is opportunity, right?
Nah, it's land and money. Like, that's right, exactly.
Money is opportunity.
Give us our space, because Malcolm X, like, is somebody I really listen to a lot lately. Like, over the last couple of years, you know what I'm saying? And it was all separation, you know, like, black people want to be accepted by white people, but their whole philosophy in black nationalism was just, you know, give us our land, our space, and, you know, y'all don't want us. Y'all don't want it, like, so just give us our land, give us the money that we're due. I can't say how much money we do, but I think that's it. Just land and money. I mean, we already know what we can build because we built America, you know, so as long as you give us the land to do it, I think we'll be good. You know, I think that's all we like. That's reparations. You know what I'm saying?
That's reparations. Like, I don't want any handouts.
Don't control us. Nah.
Because that's how it really started for them. If you think about it, like, I guess they took over whatever was here. Right. But I don't know what the infrastructure was like, what the buildings was like, what the homes was like. I don't know if it was huts or I'm not a historical junkie, you know. So when they came over here, they did build whatever, right? But they took the land and now it's free land. So it's like, okay, this is my 40, this is my 60 acres. You know what I mean? We never had that chance. It was like, you own all this property, now we're free to what property at the end of the day? You know what I mean? So just give us the property, because with your property, you made it happen, right? So give us our property and see what we can do out of that. Right. You know? That's my whole philosophy.
That's a gem right there, bro. Man. What?
Yeah, because we don't really want handouts. We never really been a handout type. I mean, a lot of people was like, I don't want that check from Trump. You know what I mean? Nah. We took it.
Yeah. I mean,
because you feel like you owe that, right? If you know.
If you're starting down money, right?
The nerve of niggas. Give me that. I ain't get it. I didn't get it, man. But we'll talk about that later. But man, right? Like, we're owed that. You know what I'm saying?
That's how you feel.
Look, I feel like we're owed that plus some.
I was about to say that wasn't even enough.
Because I ain't gonna be, y'all did us dirty for a long time and it's over. And my reparation plan, it would be the 15 acres. Give us 15. I looked up 15. Everybody stop what you're doing. Look up 15 and come back and play this video. That's a nice amount of space. All right, let's start with that.
Like per person or
per person.
Okay.
Find this space somewhere and give it to us. Thank you.
Right.
Paint house of our choice and car of our choice on the property that we own. 700 credit score, thank you.
Oh yeah,
we all need to start with that. Let's get that credit score up because you built the whole system to put us against the credit score.
Drop a bomb on that one.
Right, that's
what else
even
we
your
need?
joint.
On top of that, everything that I already asked for, I'm gonna need money to invest in a business of my choice. So I'm gonna need that on top of everything else, my land, my car, my house. I'm gonna need the money, and that's for everybody over 18 in my house. Under 18 people, 500,000 waiting for them when they turn 18 to do whatever they want. Now we already got the land, we got the business, we got everything. So that's generational wealth. So we gonna let you get a pass on the children under 18, but give them that money. And that's it. That's what I think we deserve. Yeah. And that's kind of light, for real.
That is light. I ain't even gonna lie.
That's light because they did us dirty for a long time. I'm talking about we're still suffering today.
See,
you really can't repay us. But like, come on, give us something.
It's got to be like systems, and that's why I think the land is better because even with getting all that, it's still going to be. I mean, I guess we can create our own jobs and stuff like that.
Yeah, we can.
So that's a better start.
Or build on your land too and share business that way. Like we don't have to. We're not going to be selfish, but we are owed this property.
But even that car that you got and that house that you got, you're going to be driving that nice car. They're going to pull you over because why are you driving this nice car in this area?
I mean, but that's the thing. Nice to who? Like we are the car of your choice. Everybody's not about to get a Lamborghini.
I see what you're saying.
It's just being profiled by the police is still going to be harassing black people like that.
But are they going to be in our community? Because now that we have all this money, we should be building our own community.
Yeah.
Well, see, those are what we need as reparations. Right. That freedom.
And that's what we're saying. Like, who's like controlling the money? Like, everybody's not going to do right with that 500,000. So it still needs to be a system in place, right, to make sure that the community's always being guided in the right direction. Because it can get out of hand.
Because my thing is, you can't give us land and no money.
Right. We definitely need both.
It's just space.
But we can build off of that land. Now you have 18 black doctors that now moved into this land. So you have now 18 hospitals that's up and running. You have a couple nurses. You have firemen.
Without the money, it's going to be hard.
That's what I'm saying.
We just going to have the knowledge.
But that's what I'm saying, though. You're saying that, like, it's nothing but broke black people. Now we're talking about, you think we're the only ones that think like this? If we get our own land and our own reparations, it's black people that would think. There would be people in the military that's commander-in-chief says, okay, now I'm going to this land and I'm going to build this military up. Right. You dig what I'm saying? That's what they're afraid of. And that's what the whole thing happened with the Black Wall Street ring was. Yeah. My whole thing is opportunity. Don't really give me nothing but the opportunity. To do because it's already people that will guide us. And you wouldn't believe who our real leaders are until that opportunity arises. It's like, dang, I didn't know he was XYZ. But people like, it's such a system going on that they don't even want to speak up because they're jeopardizing themselves, their families, their whole generational wealth that they spent so long building up.
Yeah, it's kind of hard for. I mean, and that's why Colin Kaepernick, what he did was so big, especially now, because you jeopardize all that. You know what I'm saying? For standing up for something that we all can see now is a problem. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, that takes cojones to kind of do that, especially when your dad been building it. Like, stay out the way. This is what we gonna do. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of takes balls to really go against the grain and jeopardize all that.
Most people need their homeboys and their homeboys to be with them.
I mean, even like, I just need to know my kids are good, And this ain't really, I mean, the battle is strong, but it's not really worth me losing my whole platform to kind of go stand for something if now my kids
But it really is, though. It really is, because you're just protecting the people that's immediate in your household. Yeah. It takes a village to raise a child. You need the entire community. So if I'm only looking after my kids, I couldn't be a father with kids and see other kids and not care about other kids. You know what I mean? It's like, if you're too young to tie your shoe, I'll tie your shoe. I'm not your father, but you're my friend's friend.
That's how it's supposed to be, Rez. But the world is so harsh that people really just got to worry about themselves and.
But you can't though.
Yeah,
that's what me and she argue about all the time. She's based on reality. I'm based in faith. You feel what I'm saying? Nobody's ever gonna tell me these things are not gonna happen. You know what I mean?
What I would say is you're like me. You're too compassionate. You're too considerate.
Most definitely.
You know, and
I don't think
that's
it's such thing as two. But if everybody was like that, it would be excellent, right?
Yeah.
So it's contagious. You cannot stoop to other people's level. This is something that I had to learn as I grew up.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I would fight fire with fire. Now I'm trying to grow up to the point where I can't stoop to your level. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like we have to continue to grow, and hopefully it's contagious. Right. You know, you don't know how many people you affected by being positive. You don't even know.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't even know, T. I don't even know.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure you will find people out there that's inspired by the way you've grown. They've seen you from a distance. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like you can't stoop to other people's level because then other people start losing hope. And that become contagious, and that's what happens in the ghetto. If everybody in the ghetto was together, united with the same mentality, it would be totally different. Mm. But they all got the same mentality of poverty. Right. So it's the same. It's contagious, man.
Get deep, man. Let's get deep.
Yeah, most definitely. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go ahead and break the ice with that one because y'all got a little deep with that one, man.
Right.
So, you got a special shout out for us today, T?
Yeah, actually I do. Special shout out goes to I4&I. She sells sunglasses, black owned business on Instagram. You can find her, I4&I. I'll drop the description. Okay. Check it out. She does 2 for $20.
Okay.
1 pair for $15, and they're very cute, fashionable. She has different colors, so you can actually go in there. She's located in Baltimore. I believe she may travel. I'm not sure, but if you're not from Baltimore area, I guess you can communicate with her and find out how to link up with all that. But
okay. Yeah. Men and women shades?
I think it's just women, so sorry guys. I think it's just women shades for now. But if you got a girl, another, anybody you can get the shades for, get them.
Most definitely. That's big. Where you can find that again?
I4&I. EYE, the number 4, the letter A, I again, EYE.
You got any?
It wasn't like a business for my shout out. And honestly, I can't even remember the woman's name. And I don't want to butcher it, you know. So I'll just say it was like a cop in Buffalo. Did y'all hear about that story?
No.
So basically, it was a cop who kind of watched her Caucasian partner using excessive force on a black person. You know what I'm saying? And as opposed to the other 3 officers in the Floyd case, she actually hopped in. She hopped in. You know what I'm saying? Lost her job. She worked for the force for 19 years, 1 year away from her pension, you know, from retirement. They took that away from her. She got PTSD. She became homeless from it. 4 kids.
And, I think I may have seen that on social media.
And all that. I don't want to say her name, y'all. Please look that up. I want to shout her out because she do got to go fund me. And she's just trying to raise some money because, again, they took her job from her for doing
the right thing.
The right thing, you know. So we have to support that. I wish I could say her name. I really do. But maybe y'all could, you know, put that in.
Most definitely. Do your research. That's Our listeners, they like to go and research things that we talk about, you know, and get the facts on that, you know. I think we're going to go ahead and get back deep again. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, what you got for us?
Do y'all think that we actually been to the moon?
Deep. It is deep.
You want to go first?
I mean, I can say that that's like a good question, you know, and I don't know if that's something that we've because we be talking about deep stuff all the time. Right? You know what I'm saying? We just recording it now.
Right. We've been doing this.
But I mean, that's for real because we got FaceTime and everything now. You know what I'm saying, man? We can do any and everything now. Like, technology has advanced so much. So why we ain't got no new footage of us going to the moon, at the moon, no videos of the moon? What's going on, NASA? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I mean, you know, like I'm somebody, man, like I'm tired of listening to what I've been told. Like we can see that that's got us blind, not woke, sleep. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, like, why can't we? Like, I would love to. I would pay HBO for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, a joint going to the moon, like live. Let's watch that. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't happening for a long time. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know.
No, we ain't never been to no damn moon, y'all. And if anybody who think that, stop playing. Because my thing is, The only video that we saw was like that 1962? Was it 60s? 1960s?
It was a long time ago, black and white.
Yeah, probably before the 60s.
Apollo days and shit, man.
Older folk drop the year down below. But nah, for real. So we went to the moon on this black and white TV screen with this aluminum foil objects in the back on some probably green screen that you put. This is how I know it's a green screen. Matter of fact, NASA, where you at? Come check me. If it was not a green screen, I want you guys to do that again today. Because my thing is, y'all not about to just feed this to us. Like, y'all did it, okay. We didn't have no movies of this. That would be the #1 movie in America, right?
I believe so.
That should be like the #1 viewed movie in America. We should have a movie. Y'all should have made a movie.
It just got me thinking now, like we deep, so fuck it, you know? Like, again, Juneteenth ain't in the curriculum, but space and going to the moon is, you know,
right? Like they like the unknown. They like it's facts over here, right? But they want to go to the unknown. They like the mysterious things and want to avoid what's really going on.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this should be more of a focus. Like where's this NASA budget coming from to be doing all this like rockets out of space and for us to never
but us
go
not
to the
go
moon
back.
again?
But us not go back to the moon. So do you think we went?
This is my whole thing. I'm not great at science, right? But look, so you can put a rocket right on this launching pad, right? Boom. The joint, I don't know what they make it out of, but obviously, boom, it goes up, then it departs, right? Like, and then the rocket goes, then it goes so far, and then it catches Earth's gravity, right? And then it starts to rotate around Earth until it just shoots into the direction. You know how much technology that is, bro? Like,
in science, like, how do you project these things without, you know what I'm saying?
Without doing it before, right? It's like you gotta mess up like 300 times before you actually get that right. Like you're talking about the world, not a remote control that you know, just flying like a little paper plane around or something like that.
To play devil's advocate though, Heart Machine, do y'all know? Heart?
Yeah.
Like, how can we have a weapon like a heart machine?
The weather machine.
Yeah, that controls the weather, but we can't go to the moon.
Right.
Yeah,
that's devil advocate. Like, you know,
because that's how you know we never been. Yeah. We never been,
but
and
how
we're
can
not
we have a machine that controls the weather if we can't even get to the moon? But I can make it rain on hurricane in Louisiana
you're making it
and
rain
Hawaii
in this snow globe. You're not going past the snow globe.
They've been doing that since World War II.
Using the heart,
messing with that. That's used as a real war tactic.
It's nuclear. That's not like solar. That's just
it's solar. But that's what I'm saying. Like if you can change the climate in certain areas, and then you can do whatever.
That's what I'm saying. So how can we change the climate but not get to the moon?
That's what I'm saying. Because that's
what I'm trying to say.
I don't think we can go to the moon. Period. I think if you notice, that's a great American achievement. I think going to the moon is like the highest American achievement.
Yeah, that's why.
Like Americans hang their hats on and shit. So it's like and then like during the time that we allegedly went to the moon, right? We was beef with Russia, and you feel me? And it was like this arms race at the time. You remember the Cold War? Like you guys remember the Cold War? It was us against Russia, and we was both getting our weapons amping our weapons up, and we wanted to show them how much of a superpower we are, and all of a sudden we went to the moon.
Yeah, so it's like a scary
So Russia, they can go to the moon,
they like me.
If they can get off Earth.
Let's back up a little bit, you feel me? Like,
dang.
And we ain't been to the moon since.
Yeah, because you lied to Russia and you're lying to us, damn it. Stop it.
Yeah.
We ain't going to the moon, we're not going back to the moon, we're in a snow globe, you are not the creator, just stop.
Lying to the world, Craig.
Right, and you got people believing it.
Yeah, that's false.
A science freak could just argue up and down all day. It's like you just believe whatever they say, and then they change their theories every other week. And then
it's a theory too.
But it's science. It's always gonna change.
Yeah,
right. Exactly.
Now that theory don't work. Like if
so then when can we say you're wrong? Right, you're just never wrong. It's just we change the theory again. So now we're right. We're always right.
When you change the game, that's just like the American system, right? Like,
you keep changing the game. That's why you always win.
Exactly. New law. They're achieving that. Whoa, loophole. New law. Insert.
All right, guys. Well, we about to get into my favorite. Pick your poison. You guys. All right, superpower. Right?
Okay.
You have two options. Which one are you choosing? We got read minds. Would you like to read minds? Or mental telepathy? Yeah, know what mental telepathy is.
Talk to somebody else without talking to them?
Yeah, like you transmit stuff.
With everybody or just who I want to?
I guess whoever your choice, like whoever.
Oh, yeah, that.
So you going with telepathy?
Yeah. I don't want to read minds because I'm too defensive.
Yeah, because I feel like if you do pick the superpower, read minds, it's not a non-stop thing.
That's crazy for me.
Is it one person's mind or is it everybody's? You can read
whoever's mind you choose to read when you want to read their mind,
no,
or you can have the telepathy whenever you choose to have the telepathy.
Oh no, because people gonna abuse that one.
What, read a mind?
Yeah, like that's not cool.
That's like reading somebody's diary.
That's like living somebody else's life. Yeah. No, you have no privacy at that point.
I'm definitely going to mind reading. I mean, because for me it's like I'm gonna abuse it. I don't care. I ain't cool. Like,
but you got one specific person. Yeah? Are you willing to say who that one specific person is?
Nah. See, if it's one specific person,
that's what she was saying. Like, it is only one person, right? That's what you said that you can do it with.
Nah, for a certain amount of time.
No. I was saying it could be whoever you choose, whenever you choose. So if like today he wants to turn on his power for an hour with that one person, he can.
I'm going to the
turn it off. This random person you don't know, you want to know what they're thinking.
I'm going to a restaurant.
Whenever.
Yeah.
It's you can turn it on and off. It's a switch, but it's like, which one would you prefer to have though?
Because with the telepathy, I mean, what's communicating, like for me, like I know what you're saying to your, like, because even in talking to people always got ulterior motives and stuff like that. So even communicating without speaking is still hidden agendas and all that. But if I can read your mind, it's chess, not checkers. Yeah. So I can do whatever I need to do, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I didn't understand the question. I thought it was like one person. Like,
no, it's turn on and off.
Of course, I want to read minds in because it's like whatever interaction that I got, which I just read your mind real quick. I see what's going on. I see how you think, how you feel, all that. So I can assess the whole situation, like just walking into a room, basically. Because you can just like boom him, right, and then boom him. That's what you said. Yeah. Like I want to read minds.
I'm gonna go with telepathy.
Wow, like what's the advantage for you? Like what's the
I don't know. I guess because it's like if I want to communicate with somebody, I can. Like I don't want to have the power of reading your mind. Like what if I want to? It's like drunk texting. Like I want to drunk text you, but I shouldn't drunk text you. So what if like at this moment I know I shouldn't read your mind, but I turn it on and I hear some shit that's like, damn.
Right.
Like I don't even want that. I want to just be able to transmit my thoughts. Like, hey.
Right.
This party's boring. Let's leave. You know what I mean? Like I want to be able to do that with whoever.
Right.
So that's
that's tough.
Yeah. I think because I would probably abuse it and end up being the one hurt because I'm abusing the mind reading.
It's crazy because I literally I want to get into skits and movies and all that. So I was just thinking of like a comedy where like that was like the scenario, the reading mind joint. You know what I'm saying? It's just like hearing all wild stuff, just like I can't shake it, you know? Like I smoked a J and I hear your thoughts now, you know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. That's like weird.
All right, so we got one telepathy, 2 mind readers. I can see y'all abusing that.
I would. Like,
it's just like you said, like I'll be like hurt too though. I'll be like, I keep on going back. Like I know they already on some negative. You feel what I'm saying?
Right, you keep tapping
in like,
and it's just so rude, like invading somebody else's.
Yeah, that's lame though.
Like no, stop. It's like reading somebody's diary.
The telepathy cool because it's like I don't know, but you keep talking to somebody that don't want to talk back to you, like. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I
like how your mind works.
That's deep. That's because like regular conversation.
It's like, or like you can cock block like that, like you rap into your shorty, and then somebody just come in like, You're like, oh shit, like, yo, get the fuck out of here, yo. Or he start rapping to shorty while you two rapping to shorty.
Right.
Like, y'all straight taker. You imagine a straight taker too, like, yeah.
Damn, like you got the reaction to speak back no matter what.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's just...
And then you got the option whether you want to respond or not.
Yeah, but it's still cool to have.
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah.
All right, well, we're about to tap into what I like to call GTT time, and that's Girl Talk with your girl, T. All right, so So did y'all hear about how the whole COVID-19 thing, they want like black participants to partake in the testing to get the vaccine? Like they need more black people, basically. Did y'all hear about that?
No.
Yeah, so apparently they're saying, I don't know if it's like news outlets or the actual news. I think it might actually be the news saying this. But basically, I actually looked up a lady. Her name is Calethea Hodges. I think that's how you pronounce it. Her whole objective is to like recruit black people to get the testing. So like their defense is pretty much, if there's a cure, it may not work if you guys aren't participating in the cure. Like, how do y'all feel about that? Like, are y'all for that? Like, us testing, getting the testing done in case there is a vaccine for us. Like, do you think we should do what they're saying?
I mean, me personally, I'm going to say no. But I know even like airport and stuff like that, like they give you $100 for just being a participant in the security system. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like they need data, period. You know what I'm saying? So if you in a bind and that's what you want to do, I ain't gonna judge you for doing that.
But what's the difference between African American genetics and other genetics?
That melanin, well, you know
that's going to be so effective for a vaccine, right?
But this is what I'm saying. Like the flu or no other thing, like specifically attacks the race, right?
Yeah.
So why is this being race driven?
I got you. Yes, that's true. Yes,
that's all I want to know.
Yeah, it shouldn't be
racial. It could be a reason. We just don't know. You know, that's something else for me to look into. You know, it could be like a. I just never really heard the significance between the black genetics and other genetics as far as like flus or illnesses, sicknesses, and things like that. It's just like I mean, we all here talks about it like throughout our community and stuff, but it's never been an official thing. Like you know, you're Caucasian, so you know they're subject to like the sun and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You
like
know, these are known facts, but like you know.
So you guys are for the experimental testing or against it?
I'm against it. Whoever wants to be with it should be with it, but you shouldn't force certain people unless you have real.
What would be like your top reason for not being for it though? Like, what would you say? Like my number one reason? Yeah, true.
That's number one. It's experimental. Like, don't experiment on me.
Yeah, I ain't with it. Period. Like
it's 2020.
I heard y'all episode last week. You know, Will Olsen talking about vaccines and stuff. You know, like I'm not like for me. Like I took my, you know, to go for kids to go to school,
you got
they have to do it, you know. So like I'm in there asking the doctor, you know, how do you get out of doing it?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And, you know, her response is like, man, people try to get out of vaccines, but get their kids McDonald's. So you know, how woke are you? You know what I'm saying? But for me, everything is still optional. It's still optional. You know what I'm saying?
Because what about people who don't feed their kids McDonald's and don't get them vaccinated?
Right, exactly.
They do exist.
Yeah.
So he's speaking from a parent that exists in my life. So what's up?
Right. You know?
Yeah, like they just
because you can naturally like that's all you're doing. Like when they give you the flu shot, they give you a little bit of the flu so your body gets immune to it. Like your body can do that on its own. You know what I mean? Like. It's all a money race to me to come back. Like you have something, I have the cure. Come get it, and then it comes to the point where come get it before you even get it.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna say my top reason for like not being with the whole experimental testing thing is I'm gonna take it back for you guys. The Tuskegee study. Have you ever heard of that?
I did, but I'm not too familiar. Go ahead.
Okay, so basically from 1932 to 1972. It was an experiment that they did on the Negro males where, correct me if I'm wrong, anybody who knows about this, I believe that they infected them with the syphilis and they wanted to do the study for that time frame. So they basically left them with untreated syphilis to see how long, like what it would do to them as time progressed.
Wow.
So 28 out of the 400 died right off the bat. 100 died due to the complications later in life. 40 wives were infected by that. 19 children were born with it. So it's like, you guys, and that's just something that was documented.
They got that data they needed.
That's what I'm talking about, yo.
Like when you're doing the studies on white men.
You see, that was why my number one reason why I don't like it.
Yeah, experiments.
You don't know if this is for the good or for the bad.
And I mean, to both of y'all points, you know, because even are y'all doing this on white people too?
Right.
You know, is it just black people? You know what I'm saying? Like y'all want to just use black
it is
like,
white people because they say we need more black people. So it seems like it is white people. So now we need more. But that's perception. That's the perception that they give you.
Because
is it white people?
That's what they do too. Like I forgot the other experiment where they infected the people in Africa with AIDS. Yeah. Like it's a history of them.
Population control.
Yeah.
Population control is real.
Africa kicked Red Cross out of Africa. You feel what I'm saying?
Because they were trying to affect them.
They was with Ebola. They straight was like, nah.
But to me, even like Corona, man, we could get deep. You know, I feel like it's population control, and we know it's a fact that black people are reproducing way faster than any other race. You know what I'm saying? So I can see we can be a target.
They keep trying to cause the minority
in a professional way. They just asking for us to volunteer to fucking kill ourselves.
Yeah, basically that's you want us to commit suicide. And this is my thing. All the people who look at black people, I'm gonna leave y'all with this. All the racist people out there that look at black people, or just the ignorant people, maybe because you didn't grow up around black people, I don't know. But for those who think that, oh, you're violent, you're crazy, you guys are always this, and your dad is black on black crime, please remind me, and I'll remind you, who has the history of brutalizing people. We don't have that history. You can't go look back in history and see how we slaughter people, enslaved them, beat them, raped them, killed them for trying to run to freedom. Like, we don't have a history of being savages at all. Yes, we don't have a history of that. All we're trying to do is live our lives. Alright, so
this was a great episode.
Yes, man. It was. Shout out to our second guest.
Yagadah. Tell them where to check you out again at, man.
Hey, Yagadah.com. YAGADAH.com. Social media is YAGADAH. Yagadah, tomato.
You did.
Support me, you know
what I'm saying? Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Reasons2Society.
Reasons.
Reasons.